Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen, the San Francisco 49ers are currently finalizing a trade that will send Philadelphia Eagles defensive end Bryce Huff to the San Francisco 49ers for a day 3 pick, according to Adam Schefter. Now, it's not official, but we are currently working through the details. And for Adam Schefter to obviously be putting this out, this means it's basically a done deal. And they are just finalizing some of the minor details. And we will talk about how this trade has materialized. It's hilarious because we were just talking about this exact trade yesterday on stream. And we'll talk about if this is a good move for the San Francisco 49ers and why would the Eagles make this trade. We're going to get into it all right now, but you guys already know what to do. Drop an SDS in the chat, smash that like button, and we're going to talk about the Bryce Huff trade right now. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Love to see it. First of all, let's shout out the SDS, baby. We see you guys in the chat. And for me, I am very excited about this move. I think this is a phenomenal move and one that is not going to extend the San Francisco 49ers in any stretch of the imagination. If you guys are just joining, let me reset it for you. The San Francisco 49ers and Philadelphia Eagles are currently finalizing a trade that would send defensive end Bryce Huff to the San Francisco 49ers for a day 3 pick, according to Adam Schefter. We're going to talk about why this is a good move, because it is a good move. It really is. And the connection, the Robert Saleh connection, boy, is paying off big time so far this offseason for the San Francisco 49ers because Bryce Huff is 6'3", 255 pounds, originally an undrafted free agent out of Memphis in 2020. He latched on with the New York Jets. As we know, Robert Saleh took over as the head coach in 2021, and Bryce Huff happened to have his best career statistical year in 2023 under Robert Saleh, where he totaled 10 sacks, 12 quarterback hits, 45 staggering quarterback hurries, and 67 total pressures. So this is in definition of exactly what you're looking for in regards to a pass rush specialist. Now, he signed a big time Philadelphia Eagles just the previous offseason, a 3-year, $51 million contract with $34 million guaranteed. So it was hilarious. We were talking about this yesterday on stream. Bryce Huff, would the 49ers would they trade for him? The reason why we were talking about that was because when I was looking over the roster, we were talking about the things that we were excited about from OTAs. The thing that I said was the 49ers are still missing a situational pass rusher. Yes, Mykel Williams, the number 11th overall pick, very, very exciting. A ton of high prospects for him, but he's not a pass rusher first. Can he develop into a pass rusher? Absolutely. But as it stands right now, that's where he needs to develop in his game. And when you look beyond Mykel Williams, you have Sam Okwuonu, who I like quite a bit, but he's still a developing prospect. And then you got Yetur Gross-Matos, who's more in the mold of Mykel Williams than anything else. Robert Beal, who really hasn't been able to pan out so far for the 49ers, wasn't even practicing yesterday for OTAs. So the 49ers are just super thin at defensive end. And we knew that heading into the draft. But again, it was one of the main things that we had discussed yesterday on yesterday's stream was they're still missing that guy. They need to go find someone. We went through potential free agents that they could add. We actually spoke directly about Bryce Huff just yesterday. And this was my theory on it. It was like, I would love Bryce Huff. I think he would fit for all the reasons that we've already explained. He's got the connection with Robert Saleh. He's had a 10-sack season in his career. He was just buried on the Philadelphia Eagles roster. But the pushback that I had was, man, he signed a big contract. He would have had a $29 million cap hit if they were to move off of him, dead cap hit in 2025 for the Philadelphia Eagles. And I was like, that to me doesn't make it seem viable. Well, as we have heard, the Philadelphia Eagles knew that they needed to restructure Bryce Huff's contract in order to facilitate this trade. So that's exactly what they did. Bryce Huff was scheduled to make, $17 million guaranteed, fully guaranteed this season from the Philadelphia Eagles. Well, with this restructure, the Eagles will now take on over $9 million in salary, leaving the 49ers only responsible for the remaining $7.95 million due to Huff this season. So let's break it down. Basically, the San Francisco 49ers are giving up a day 3 pick, which will likely and potentially be a compensatory pick, which they will get from all the free agents who had left in free agency this year, right? The mass exodus. They're going to recoup comp picks. I'm assuming they're going to take one of those comp picks and they're going to throw it at Bryce Huff, which is basically getting a free pick, using it to go get a situational pass rusher to only have to pay him $8 million this season. So this is a great move. Like, this is when you dive into the mind of like roster construction, roster building, making smart moves, not just moves because you want to make the moves. Like, this is a smart move. It makes a ton of sense. You have an advocate on the roster in Robert Saleh who already pulled the best out of this guy. So, and clearly the Philadelphia Eagles have been trying to trade him all offseason. And it's a perfect fit. The 49ers needed someone in this mold. And now I feel so much better about the San Francisco 49ers defensive line than I felt just yesterday. Because again, I love what the 49ers did via the draft. They injected a ton of youth into that front four with CJ West, Alfred Collins, and Mykel Williams. But that hole from a pass rushing perspective, to me, was glaring, which is exactly why we were speaking about it yesterday. And the San Francisco 49ers, again, it's not official. I have to make that clear that this hasn't been officially reported as being done. It's being reported as being finalized, but we know the cadence. We know this game, and doing this for a long, long time. This is how the NFL insiders typically do it. To be first, basically it's going to be done, barring any kind of crazy snag. But essentially, for Adam Schefter to put this out there with the details and all of those things prior to it being finalized is because it's basically finalized. They have agreed in principle to the trade. It just hasn't been, I guess, signed on the dotted line. So it's definitely something that we will see. It's not being reported as final, but I mean, this is as close to being a finalized trade as possible. So I'm for it. I think that this is a strong move. Heisman says, man, let's go. And, I think that's a great way to, discuss this trade. So let me get a sip of my coffee. Cheers to John Lynch. Great move. I think this is a phenomenal move. Again, something that we needed. We needed this. This isn't a we'll take them. No, we needed a situational pass rusher. Like we needed this. And to say that the 49ers got scammed for effectively giving a free pick away, which we're assuming is going to be a compensatory pick for the free agents, only paying a fraction of his contract for a guy who has had 10 sacks just in 2023 with Robert Saleh, then I'm just gonna, respectfully say you don't know ball, my guy, but it's okay. It's all right. We understand not everyone has proper football acumen. That's why we come here. We discuss as a community and as a group. We throw ideas around. Not everything we have to agree on and ally on, but I think if you are objectively taking a step back from this and just looking at how this deal is being executed, what the role and need that it fits, and the cost associated to obtain a player who had 10 sacks the last time he started, yeah, I think we're good. I think this is congratulations, John Lynch. This is a stellar move in every sense of the imagination. This is a great move. It's a needed move. And the 49ers get someone that they know. This isn't, going out and getting Chase Young, for a third round pick. Chase Young, we like the idea of it, but Chase never really panned out. I think like a lot of us had expected him to. The 49ers even traded for Randy Gregory that same year. The 49ers have been trying to lock down this edge spot on the opposite side of Nick Bosa for a long time, and they have been struggling. Even last year, they signed Yetur Gross-Matos, 2-year, $20 million. They signed Leonard Floyd, 2-year, $20 million. They get rid of Leonard Floyd. They go draft Mykel Williams with the 11th overall pick. So it has been a tough situation for the 49ers to continue to fill this role, fill this need. And, I think this is exactly what the 49ers needed from a roster construction standpoint. And they don't overextend themselves. They don't overpay. I think that this is a good value. I think that the 49ers, they check a lot of the boxes here. I see someone in the chat saying he was a healthy. Yeah. Big time contract. Unfortunately, the Philadelphia Eagles are absolutely on their defensive line, and it's really hard to break through, rightfully so. That defensive line will be absolutely formidable, and that Brown will young couldn't. I don't necessarily think is a direct detriment. I think it more speaks to the talent that the Philadelphia Eagles have on their roster. You'll look at so hopefully back here with Donald's Wi-Fi, but hopefully back because we were doing all right. We were doing good. And then oh yeah, it's cutting out too. See, always something. They're always something always acting up, man. Always acting up. It was funny. I made my video and my computer crashed. I was like, of course. of course, as I'm trying to upload this video as fast as humanly possible, um, my my computer crashes. Now we're having internet problems, of course, par for the course, but it doesn't matter. We're going to keep trucking on. Hopefully, everything is better. I see that my bars are going up on my StreamYard. So hopefully, we're okay. And you guys can hear me all right. And oh, no kids on Fortnite. All right, we're good. We're back in business. Just like the San Francisco 49ers continue to push on and do good business this offseason. And I think that's one of the biggest takeaways right now from the 49ers offseason is they're making solid moves. And this was again a move that needed to be made. We talked about just yesterday, and I've talked about since the draft concluded that the 49ers needed to address this particular position. And the San Francisco 49ers did just that today by going out and trading for Bryce Huff. So definitely a win in my book. I think that there's a lot of potential here. And again, this is a guy who you can trust in third down situations. And I think that again kind of also speaks to how I envision Michael Williams being used. I think Michael Williams is going to be a guy who is going to be a base down player. He's going to play on first and second down, and on pass rushing situations, they're going to kick him inside over the guard, and they're going to bring Bryce Huff onto the field. Now, what I've been envisioning feels more complete, and I think it's going to be fantastic. I really do. Again, the way that I envision Mikel fitting now feels completed with the addition of Bryce Huff, because again, the defensive line is 4 guys. And yes, we already know Nick Bosa, he's a 3-down beast. He is going to be on the field first, second, and third down. He's going to be able to stop the run and set the edge and get after the passer. CJ West, Alfred Collins, that remains to be seen. We got to see how they acclimate to the NFL game. But the theory is that both of those guys can not only stop the run, but they can get after the passer. And with Michael Williams kind of in their NASCAR packages, can now kick inside, use his length and power on shorter armed guards and centers, and push the pocket from the interior, while you have speed rushers with Nick Bosa and Bryce Huff collapse the pocket from the top, push the quarterback up. And I think that will be a recipe for success for the San Francisco 49ers. So I like it. And again, I apologize for my internet. My internet doesn't want to see us thrive today, but the internet can't stop us, baby. We're still going to be hyped about this move, and we're still going to talk about why this is a good move for the San Francisco 49ers. I mean, this guy's 27 years old, and he's going to be good. I fully believe that. So I'm glad that the 49ers were able to get it done. And man, I feel much better about the defense right now. Feel much better. For sure, feel much better. I really do. I think we also were talking about yesterday about the 49ers potentially adding a safety with the rash of safety injuries. Jair Brown dealing with an ankle issue, had to have a procedure on his ankle, will likely be out until training camp. Malik Mustafa tears his ACL. So it just feels like there's an opportunity for the 49ers to also potentially add at safety. Those were the two positions that we were talking about yesterday that we felt still could be addressed. And so check this one off the list. Feel really good about it. And, this guy's a compact rusher. He's got good first step, get off, good motor, and he's going to be able to collapse the pocket from the outside. So pretty solid. Look at this right here. This is Bryce Huff in his last season with Robert Saleh. He led the league in pressure rate ahead of Micah Parsons, ahead of Josh Allen, ahead of Nick Bonito and Trey Hendrickson. It says Huff played 82.2% of the Jets' third down defensive snaps in 2023 versus just 30.2% on early downs. Bingo! That's exactly what we are talking about. This guy is a pass rush specialist. This guy is going to be able to, this is where he's going to thrive for the San Francisco 49ers and why he fits well with Michael. Michael is going to be your 70% base down defensive end or whatever. And then when Bryce Huff comes in, he's going to play the majority of the third down snaps for the San Francisco 49ers. So again, pressure makes diamonds. Just everyone focuses on the sack numbers, but pressure definitely impacts quarterbacks' offenses in an insane way. And so in today's league, in today's NFL, that is a great way to get to kind of make it really hard on opposing offenses and quarterbacks. And so the San Francisco 49ers come away with a great move. Again, I couldn't be more happy about this one. I think this, I keep saying this fits so perfectly. It fits so well, fits so good. This is exactly what this is how I envisioned it. This is how I envisioned it to be. With Michael and the combination of a situational pass rusher. So I'm for it. What other moves do you think the San Francisco 49ers need to make? What do you guys think? Are they done? Do they need to keep going? I think you could see potential safety, like I've mentioned. Some have mentioned wide receiver, but I don't know. Swing tackle, I think we're okay at tackle for now. I would say if I had to rank the positions, I would say safety. Safety, I mean, the 49ers aren't going to be really able to get an offensive lineman. I think at this point, it's probably safety for sure. If you can get another wide receiver, wouldn't be opposed to that. But I think the most pressing is for sure safety. So this is what we were talking about in the lead up to OTAs was the 49ers. I just said this week. I said I don't think the 49ers are done building out this roster. I think what they're going to do is they're going to get into OTAs. They're going to get into mandatory training camp, do a review, and see where they need to add. And the San Francisco 49ers check off one box. They checked off the situational pass rusher, which they absolutely needed. So it fits a need. It fits the current staff. It fits exactly what they're looking for. So to me, this is a good move and a needed move. And I think next you could focus on safety potentially. So we'll see if that's what they continue to do. Justin Simmons was a name that we talked about yesterday as well. I think part of the, again, I think with safety, I would like Justin Simmons. The only concerns that I have with trying to bring on veterans like that is they are going to expect to start the full year. And after we saw that situation play out with Devondre Campbell, where he got real upset when Dre Greenlaw's time to return was ready. Obviously, no one's built like Devondre Campbell, I should say, but it is something that I think you do have to be concerned about, in the sense of, are we going to bring on a veteran who's looking to start all season? Because Malik Mustafa could be back definitely at some point this year. Same with Jair Brown. So if he's up for competition and all that stuff, then we're good moving forward. Joe said we needed that draft capital. I mean, did we? Joe, you do recognize the 49ers are going to get 4 compensatory draft picks for all the free agents that left this year. You know, Talanoa Hufanga, Dre Greenlaw, you know, Travarius Ward, you know, even Jalen Moore, guys like that. They're going to get picks. They're going to get 4 comp picks next year just from the free agents leaving. That's probably maybe a couple thirds, maybe a couple fourths. So Callie says, Brad, some fans just love to complain. I get it. I get it. It's definitely a new part of fan culture these days. Is it's almost like who can complain the loudest. I think we saw a little bit of that yesterday with some of the OTA clips. But at the end of the day, man, it checks. We talk about checking boxes. This move checks a lot of the boxes, and it checks need, it checks fit, it checks cost, it checks roster construction mold. It checks every box. So this is a good move. Now, obviously, what will make it a better move is when we get to the end of the season and we say, "Oh, look, he continued to check all the boxes by continuing to rush the passer and rack up sacks and fitting in to all of this stuff." So, hey, someone says we pay $8 million for Huff and a pick, while Eagles get Ojulari for $4 million. I get that. I think that's a fair critique. You know, as someone who was big on Azeez Ojulari, I do think that is an interesting comparison. But I will say this. Robert Saleh didn't work with Azeez Ojulari. Robert Saleh did work with Bryce Huff. So that to me gives me much more confidence in the move, because the guy who's going to be credited with Bryce Huff's development, that ultimately, like, again, my pushback on this too was when Azeez Ojulari's rookie contract was up, he signed for $4 million. When Bryce Huff's rookie contract was up, he signed for 3 years, 51. So yes, you can make that comparison, but you can't leave out all the context, right? You know, yeah, I get it. I like Azeez. I wanted Azeez Ojulari for sure. I'm a big fan of his. But Azeez signed for $4 million when his rookie contract was up. Bryce Huff signed for $51 million when his contract was up. He just went to a spot that was jam-packed with talent, and he didn't fit, apparently. So he's coming back to a place where he fits. And I think that's one of the most important elements, because we've seen it many times. Players have success in one building, they go to the next, doesn't necessarily work out. They can go back, have success. Like it just, not every environment is created equal. So I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad about it at all. And yes, the Eagles are paying a majority of Bryce Huff's contract as well. So I don't think it's a bad thing at all. So I like it. There's always going to be some people who don't. That's fine. But I think this is right up the alley of things that the 49ers needed to continue to do from a roster construction standpoint, and they did it. So I'm good. I'm good. I hope you're good as well. And again, love to see the San Francisco 49ers going out, making some moves. And again, this isn't just a random move like, oh, we just need some depth. No, they needed a situational pass rusher, and they went out and got one. So I'm good with it. You can let me know if you're good with it too in the chat, or if you just want to be upset at everything the San Francisco 49ers do. That's fine as well. I'll tell you when I like something. I'll tell you when I don't. And to me, I think this is a good move. I think we're good, man. I think this is a move to be happy about heading into the rest of your Friday, heading into the weekend. And hey, the 49ers, man, don't sleep on them. A lot of people sleeping on the San Francisco 49ers. That's fine. That's fine. You can do that. Ain't going to be me, though. Appreciate everyone, as always, for tapping in. Make sure you smash that like button, sub to the channel if you haven't already. Grab your cookies on the way out. Y'all have a great weekend. I'm out. Peace. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Love to see you.